afternoon. Hope you're well. How's it going? We're here. A new CPI day. I like these days, they're great fun. And I thought putting a bit of a rock song on, I think it's my new brand song anyways. It works pretty well. Let me know if you can hear me and all that kind of good stuff. New live stream. I will be doing more live streams on Twitch. There's a link in the pinned comment. Feel free to follow. Maybe 2 a week. A little bit different. YouTube isn't very good for lives, in my opinion. Twitch is where it is. Yeah, music's got me pumped to go further into drawdown on my portfolio. Ooh. Maybe not. Maybe my dominance may turn. We'll see. Speaking of turning, look at that inflation graph. Incredible. Incredible. But yeah, if you're new around here, welcome. I do this every CPI just for the shits and giggles. Feel free to like the stream. There's only 18 people liking. Please do like it. Let's get it ranked. And yeah, let's have a little look at what people are predicting so far in terms of the poll. There's a poll at the top. 64 people voted so far. A lot of people think 5.42 estimate is the highest, which I kind of agree with. They have been pretty good with their estimates recently. So we'll see if that continues. But yeah, we'll see. Energy prices are starting to come down slowly. There's better food pricing as well in certain places around the globe. So there's a lot of things that could factor in here, but we'll see. We'll see. Summer, increased spending, maybe a problem. So 5.2 is a consensus. We've also got core inflation, which their consensus is reckoning an uptick, 5.6. We'll see how that goes. But potentially be 5.5 again. And that is the interest rates thus far. Expecting another rate hike expected, which could be interesting. Probably the same, 0.25 basis points, but we'll see. So, how is everyone? We all good? We all surviving? Hopefully. Hopefully everyone is. But yeah, hope you like the new little stream layout. I've just put some little headers on the top and bottom just so it looks more obvious like a live stream. A lot of people like look at these videos and go, oh, it's a normal video, when it's actually live. A little bit different. But yeah. What is everyone thinking? So let me know in the chat or whatever what you think the genuine consensus is. But yeah, we'll see how things go. See how it goes. How is the market looking? Actually, that's a good point. Bit of a wobble from BTC already. We're 9 minutes away. Yields on the this one essentially not as fun to look at, but sometimes it does react. Should probably look at the 10-year yield, to be fair. Doesn't react as much. But yeah, we'll see how things go. We're on the lower time frame, so it's fine. People think 6. That'll be a right kick in the teeth, that. For a lot of people. I'm going to change this one to the NASDAQ. Give me the NAS, please. NDX, I believe that's the futures. Is it the futures? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, NDX. NQ1, sorry. Give me the futures. NQ1. There we go. Let's have a look. We'll have the NASDAQ in there. Makes it easier, more fun. So yeah, what we got? We've got the dollar, we've got the S&P, we've got the NASDAQ, and we've got BTC. So yeah, nothing too alarming, nothing too scary, hopefully. But yeah, there's a few things that we do need to keep an eye on realistically, as normal. But the last few times have been pretty good. BTC gonna dump. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on this result, I suppose. Something happens though every time, which is a good thing about it, I suppose. Yeah, inflation might be a sticking point. It might get to one of those kind of like fat loss walls where you kind of hit that wall, that situation where it's just going to stick for a while. I still think 2%, like if they're ever going to get to 2%, it's going to take a bit of time. And, you know, obviously, yes, at the start, it's going to start dropping quickly, but between 5 and maybe 3.5% might be quite hard to get down. Potentially, right? We'll see, because we'll still have certain situations around the world, obviously, with certain increases in price, energy bills, oil price could be a contentious thing as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Where's the gold boomer chat? Oh, come on, mate. Don't need the gold on here just yet. I can quickly glance at gold though. I mean, coming from the boomer side of it, I just bought some premium bonds last week, which was great fun. Yes, premium bonds, boom. Nasdaq, and S&P is kind of mounting a little bit, to be fair, but the Nasdaq is a little bit too. But this happens every time. Every time this is going to come out, there's always something in the market that rumbles it first. Then all of a sudden we get the result, then we get the reaction, and then the market will open an hour later, traditionally, I believe, give or take. Yeah, it will be, because the hours are in sync again now. Always confuses when the times change. Always confuses me. It does my head in. Really does my head in. It's like, oh, the UK time zones changed. The US did it 3 weeks earlier. What? Apparently, the bigger pullback won't arrive. Apparently, we all dealing with speculation, are we? You got to play what you see. Don't just look at what the data's telling you in terms of what ifs and maybes, because you can't predict the market. You can look at where the trend is going, and the trend is currently an uptrend. S&P's not doing great, is it, this morning? Bit of a drop. But yeah, don't look at people's content and go, oh, we're going to go down in certain... What? You've got to be careful. Because if you start getting into the false... Look at Capo on Twitter, for example. Great example. It's going to go lower, it's going to go lower. And then all of a sudden it's just 30k. It's like, great, thanks. My parents have a load of premium bonds. Yeah, mine do too. But it's also tax efficient. Like for me, it's like you don't get taxed on it. You can only put 50 grand in, but you don't get taxed on the winnings. So if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. And I think if you think about it in terms of putting 50 grand in an ISA, well, not even an ISA, just a normal savings account, you're going to get taxed on your interest anyways. You might actually make more of a couple of 25, 125 pounds, or even a 500 pound win once a month. Well, once a year, twice a year, or something like that. BTC looks like it's decoupled completely. BTC is stronger than I ever thought it would be in this situation. Start of the year, I was like, yeah, cool. We'll probably go up to like 20, 23, 24k. 30k? Come on now. It's pretty interesting. So even though BTC has been ranging this morning, it's waiting for something to happen, we've had a bit of an uptick in the S&P in the futures charts, and we're starting to slowly come down. And the same with the S&P. We've not the S&P, the Nasdaq. Sorry, we've just been chuckling up, but we'll see how it goes. But BTC has been very different to most things. It's good to see. Good to see. We just need the dominance to drop. We need the altcoins to go boom. Yeah, the Ethereum Shanghai update, I think it's already happened or already done, I believe. I don't know. Ellis can maybe correct me. He did an article for me on that. I think it's done. Or close to. But I think personally, I think it's a nothing story. I think a lot of people will stake now that situation is going to happen. If you don't know, it allows staking to withdraw and stuff like that. So I reckon a lot of people will jump on that. I think staking Ethereum is brilliant. I love doing it. But yeah, there's a lot of people going, oh, there's going to be like $18 billion worth of Ethereum unlocked. Well, it's not. It's only so much of it is. And even then, they might not even bother with it. They might just sit on it and just go, you know what? Why would I sell? Why would I want to sell now? So yeah. Oh, is it tonight? Be all right. I think the one thing with the Ethereum Shanghai update, there's not been a run up in price. If there was going to be any sort of in my opinion, a reaction, it would have run up in price. It would be way over $2,000, maybe $2,500 by now. Everyone's known about it. I doubt it'll just drop off a cliff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So let's go back down to the martini timeframes. 3 minutes. We're going to get close to the drop. So what is everyone thinking? Paul is saying, oh, it's a bit of chalk and cheese, really. It's either below 6% and above 5.7, which is still better, but it's coming in not as good. And then you've got that 5.4 to estimate. Now, I will say this, my opinion, even though we've got consensus at 5.2, we could come in lower, and it's great. Inflation's dropping a little bit, right? But the market might hate that. If it comes in at like 5.6 or 5.7, the markets might go, whoa, hold on a minute. That's not coming very well. it's way off estimate or it's missed target. So we'll see. Could be fun. But yeah, 10 hours until Shanghai. That's fair enough. Thought it was already done. I probably read something useless on Twitter, but I don't think it's going to do much. I think it might be a little bit of a fear, but I personally don't think it's just going to melt the price. If it melts the price, it's a problem for altcoins. Huge problem, but we'll see. Oil is a problem, yeah. Oil with the supply and demand issues. All these little treaties that have been signed underneath the tables and whatnot about supplies and whatnot, which came out, last week? We'll see how that affects markets. Too early for this, though. But we'll see how it goes. So we've also got core inflation to look at. Hopefully 5.5. And then obviously we can speculate, well, what's going to happen next? Probably the normal rates of inflation. Interest rate hikes. Come on. Waiting for the release now. We'll see how it goes. It'll probably be on Twitter first, so feel free to look on Twitter. No doubt it'll be on there first. It usually bloody is somewhere. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, should be absolutely tickety-boo. I wouldn't even worry about a high CPI. Personally, I think it's still accumulate. For crypto, it's accumulation. Like, you got high dominance, you've got low Satoshi prices, you've got really decent, even dollar prices on altcoins. So it's not like you're missing out, really. Like, there's still some good assets. There's a few that are not in the range to buy, like BTC, for example. You can take profit into BTC. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are all right, really. This has been the longest minute ever. I'm just going to put that out there. 202 people here. Hello and welcome. Hi. If you're not yet checked the pinned comment, I'm doing live streams on Twitch. I will be anyways, as of next week. So follow me on Twitch. Be a much better experience than this. I think YouTube is naff for live streams. Right. 1, has this website crashed? Probably. 2, what is the rate? Anyone know? This website will probably crash. It'll be on my Twitter somewhere. Refresh the home page. Off we go. There we go. 5? What is it? That doesn't make sense. Is it 5%? Estimate 5.2. 5.6, yeah. It's 5%. Fuck, that's unreal. Dear me. I wasn't expecting that low. So if we've just knocked off 1%, because I was saying this morning, 0.8% is a massive estimate anyways, right? 0.8% was already huge. So that's impressive. So there we go, it's already on. It's on the chart, it's not on here yet. Fair player. Let's see what the market's going to do. Zoom! Bitcoin liked it. The dollar won't like it. You know the coloration there. So yeah, that's damn impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, fair play. But the question is, right, now we've got to ask this question. Do we need to keep raising the interest? Because I don't know. I think the Bank of England are looking at stopping. I know I'm from England. Hello, welcome. But the US are not looking to stop anytime soon. I think there's going to be 3 more hikes at least. We'll see. But I know a few people have already said there's potential of, what do you call it? The oil. Oil could be an issue in the future for the US. We'll see if that does affect things. But yeah, like when we look at the fact of what could be happening elsewhere, it could be interesting. But that is a huge... I've just changed my title of the stream because that's monstrous. Fair play. So BTC dominance probably doesn't like that right now. But hey, it is what it is. I don't think BTC dominance will hit 60%. I think that'd be mental if that does. It took nearly a year to get bloody 8% up. Never mind another 12% from here. How is Bitcoin doing after everything else doing? So yeah, BTC price is getting slaughtered. Dominance is going up to 49%. Not too bad realistically. But yeah, there's a lot of emotions right now. So we'll wait and see if it settles down. It probably will settle down. But the dollar has just died. Literally. Jesus Christ. Well, there will be a lag on these, by the way, boys and girls. Just in case you're wondering, it will be laggy. It'll be a little delay. Always is. I'm not paying for the extra stuff. Fuck that shit. I'll give enough to TradingView as it is. But yeah, that's an incredible kind of reaction anyways. But I didn't think it would be 5%. That's decent. I was expecting about 5.4, like coming low, but miss estimate a little bit, but actually went beyond estimate, which is impressive. But as well, you got to think, like, they have changed the data margins, the figures, like from 2 year to 1 year. How much of that is a factor? Is it all smokes and mirrors? Ooh. But yeah, interesting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to scroll down. We're going to have a little look and see what's the differences. So you can see at the top ones, they're the normal ones. But in terms of import prices, nothing much of a change. But food inflation has changed. Energy, minus 6.4. Huge difference. The energy is the main one that's mainly factored that in. So is it because we're starting to warm up? Maybe. Have certain supply chains been factored in? Maybe. So yeah, it's looking interesting. What difference does CPI make? Well, it's just fear and greed, isn't it? It's speculation. It's a better economy. Factor in a multiple plethora of things that mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but not much to most people, essentially. It's just confidence, isn't it? It's if they're showing that they're getting inflation down, it means that they are trying to stop a problem. The problem was, not that long ago, we were at 9.1%, spiraling out of control. Now, that is America. There's still spiraling problems in Argentina, Turkey, even the United Kingdom at 10% inflation rate. You don't want high inflation. Simple as that. But right now, we've got other problems to worry about. Friday is a big day now. Banking earnings. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, it could be great fun. But again, the core inflation, it's been pretty sticky. Slowly coming down. This one's arguably the most important one. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, the crashing fiat a little bit. But the dollar is only going back to where its neutral level is. So basically, the dollar index starts at 100. If you plus or minus it, basically kind of shows the strength. So we were plus 20 well, not 20 essentially. Hold on, let's go to like a higher time frame. So we were up here. We were like plus 15 versus what the dollar was. So when it launched, it was at 100. Anything below shows weakness. Anything above shows strength. Going back down to that neutral kind of ground now. So yeah, it doesn't show that it's dying. It just shows that things have changed. And, you know, when you think about the war and all kinds of stuff in terms of where they're dealing with the money and where they're putting the money, there's all those different factors, isn't it? And people are kind of worried about what's going to happen next. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, Bitcoin bullish. S&P. We'll wait for that to move. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's pretty good for the world right now. Seeing that the inflation has... Why are we going to the 3 month? I don't want to go to the 3 month time frame. 3 minute time frame, thank you. That we are slowly getting ahead of this. Slowly. It's fine though. Just depends where we're going to go. Do people still think there's going to be a recession? I don't know. For me, I don't know. The job market hasn't crashed yet. If the job market started to crash, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. If a recession's going to happen, but are we going to escape it? Scary to think. Like, a lot of the spending still hasn't changed much. It's absolutely lashing down where I live. Again. Great. But anyone got any questions? Anyone got any queries, questions? If you're not yet done so, follow me on Twitch. The only reason why I say that is because I will be doing live streams on there. Potentially 2 a week. 2. Not yet, but we'll start off with 1. Might do a weekend one. What's the new CPI? 5%. It's on the screen. See ya. 5%. Beat consensus comfortably. The thing is, though, it's going to go up at one point, isn't it? Surely it's not just going to keep going down forever. It's going to pop up at some point. I think people are correct in saying that it will get a bit sticky at some point. It will probably get slow, I think the novelty of this will wear off very soon. I think if we do start getting really slow turns, it's quite exciting seeing it go to the moon and then back down again pretty quickly, but it does react the market. Whereas I think in the future it probably won't. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Just sick of the weather, to be honest. I'm waiting for the summer to come. Get myself a tan because I'm still so pasty. Long at 23k, nice. I think Bitcoin market is bottom. I don't think. I don't know about the stock market. I'm on the fence. I'm thinking like I was very bearish on the entire like Let me just go on to bear with me. Actually, no. We'll just look at that on the full screen. Because when I look back and I think to myself, right, I was pretty like if you zoom out, I was expecting us to go down here personally, like this big level. We have pulled back quite a significant chunk. Don't get me wrong, but we've held here for so long now, it's just pure chop. Something has to really break. And I thought the banking element of it, banks going under was going to be a bit of a problem, but it actually didn't really affect it, did it? It was quite scary to think like how much money got moved around and then all of a sudden, yeah, it's fine. Like we're at the point where if this breaks structure, it's going to just keep going higher. And it's like, oh, hello. What? It's just mad, isn't it? Mad. Is it a good time to DCA into alts? Oh god, altcoins and BTC. Well, apart from BTC, obviously is high, but the dominance of BTC is currently 49. Right, that's good for buying stuff like this. Like, there's some good altcoins at some low Satoshi ranges. Right, they're just on the floor. Really, like look at that. It's on the floor. It really is. Loads of them. Not just that. Just like everything. Time to buy. Come on now. We are there. We're at that point now, I believe, to start looking at potentially buying. I've broken that now, look. Whoopsie. Should really go over to my other chart. Let me go back to normal charts for a bit. Bosh. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, look at Ethereum. It's still like, it hasn't really done a gigapump like Bitcoin has. Even with all the stuff happening, realistically. But yeah, what's gold doing? Whoa, go on, son. So this is some old analysis from Learning Crypto I did a while ago. I pinpointed this level and I went, right, if bounce, what does Bitcoin do? Open question. I think you know the answer. We bounced massively. Where do I find your new Learning Crypto? What? Oh, go to Learning Crypto. So, new website, bear with me. I don't know if many people have seen this yet, but there's a load of articles for free going on this website here. Once it loads, I think I've broken it. Oh dear. Once it loads up. But yeah, you can jump in and get a load of free articles and stuff like that. S&P has only dropped 26%. Doesn't feel right to me. 26% is still a lot though, in all fairness. It's quite decent. What other questions have we got? How do you 100x a coin without taking profits and risking too much of your... Without taking profits? You've got to take profits at some point. You're not going to 100x something if you're going to, how are you going to make 100x if you don't take profit? Anyways, this website's now loaded now. So yeah, this one has a lot of information about a lot of things. So if you want to get involved in terms of reading articles and just seeing stuff quickly, digesting it, all on here. Pretty useful. Just an extension of Learning Crypto brand, really, if anyone was wondering. It's pretty useful. What else have we got? Favorite alt I'm looking at? Ooh, favorite? I've not looked at any altcoins for a while. I've just bought Rose, as people know. Did a YouTube video on Rose. I'd say Rose. I think Rose has got like a good bag of multiples in there somewhere. So we'll see. People calling me Potter. Graham Potter. Could probably do a better job than him, to be fair. Jesus Christ. How to destroy a team in 10 minutes. He's beating it. Silver light CP, yeah, silver, gold, stuff like that will like it. Silver's a quality asset at the minute. I mean, look at the recovery on that. It looks like it's traded really well as well. On the weekly time frame, it's like quite, over the last, short all year, go long into a nice little pullback recovery, off we go. It's like pretty decent. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. What will be your next move now that we've been Safa and Chelsea? Mate, did he get was it 18 million? compensation or something like that. Or, oh no, I think it costs the club 18 million to hire him and then sack him. That's mental, mate. I know I do well in crypto, but I don't have that much money laying around. What's your favorite indicator on TradingView? I don't have one. Probably, hold on, probably the one that was built for me, which is the dominance indicator at the top here, personally. It's free to get this one, by the way. So basically all this does, it tells you the dominance of something. So you can see here, BTC dominance is rising as Polkadot is melting. It gives you an idea what's happening, really. So yeah, it's telling you what to do, really. So up is bad, down is good, essentially, of that indicator. But yeah, I don't tend to use many indicators. I usually use the RSI or an EMA, but I don't tend to use an RSI anymore. I tend to just use a dominant indicator. I don't like noisy charts. Like, I see some influencers like, oh, look at this. And it's like, it's splat. It's a mess. It's like, what? So yeah, I like it super simple. I like to see price action. I like to see the trend. I can't have too much going on at once or my brain will just break. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And like, yeah, simple support and resistance, really. Like, that's near chart. I mean, levels. You could probably argue level probably down here now, to be fair. But realistically, when we look at the obvious in terms of any asset, I still think, personally, you can still buy. You can still buy lower. You can still buy higher. You can, there's all kinds of stuff, but we are not buying at all-time high levels. That's where people forget. This market can go up to like $3, $4, $5 trillion in the next cycle, and you'd be like kicking yourself, thinking, when it was $1, no, what 1 trillion or 1.2 trillion, I wish I bought more. You just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see how things go. What's the line? The blue line is the EMA 55, which is the overall trend. So you can change that line. So if you click onto it, you can actually have different ones. You can have a crossover with the EMA 21, or you can change them. It doesn't matter which one. You can change each one. It's fine. But they only work on the stable currencies. They don't work on the US dollar pairs. Unfortunately. How does learning crypto make money? Courses, memberships, stuff like that. Cheap, affordable courses. Unlike the ones that fleece you, where it's like $6,000 for whatever shit you get. Nice, cheap, low quality. How long before YouTube is filled with beat? Oh, don't even start. Whenever I do my research and when I talk about like doing like, YouTube videos and finding out what I should do, I just wince every time I go into YouTube now. It's like, oh. Like, even me, I try and do like the thumbnails now just to be a bit more creative, but I don't think I'll go that far. Do you expect BTC to top out? I don't know. It was a different market then, so I know what you're talking about in terms of, bear with me, this. So this was run up by a lot of Ponzi schemes at the time. There was like 3 or 4 big Ponzis that were doing really well just in BTC. And then obviously they kind of melted. But when you think about it as well, a lot of people liquidated their ICOs into BTC at the time too. So yeah, that's what brought that up. So I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any sort of factor other than the fact that money is going into Bitcoin at the minute slowly. But we'll see. I don't think it will just nosedive from there though. It might do. It will correct. This will correct at some point. It will hurt BTC, the altcoins, essentially. But we'll see how things go. But yeah, even if it does retrace, we're still quite a long way away from all-time high. Whereas on here, when we think back and look at this level here, we were pretty close to all-time. We're 14,100. All-time high was just below 20K. So yeah, it ran up quite a lot. It did catch a lot of people. I made a lot of money here. I was really lucky because I was holding a lot of BTC at the time. I was like, oh God, it's pretty nice. But yeah, I was very fortunate, luckily in that situation. I'm glad you like the content. It's pretty good, to be fair. I've got a good group of people in that Discord, like their class. Make my job so much easier. So much easier. Because most of them know what they're talking about and they're just like, they can answer anyone. It's great. Do you think there's any crypto influencers work for hedge funds? I have my suspicions about a few, personally. I think Capo's an interesting one in terms of what he says and what he does, or he, she, who they are. I don't know. No one knows, right? It's interesting. Crypto Whale's another one as well. Very, very interesting. Checkered past. They just say stuff, but they don't actually show their positions. And it's like they've built this massive following of like interest around what they say, which could be great data for a hedge fund, for example. But yeah, there's definitely something, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, you can't be that wrong and still get followers, right? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's interesting. Do you reckon we'll have an official UK recession? I think a UK recession is more likely than a US one, personally. Judging by the high inflation rates, judging by the shit state of this country. I think junior doctors are currently striking right now for 3 to 4 days. There's a lot of problems happening in the UK versus the US, for example. A lot. So yeah, it could be great fun. When altcoins pump, at what percentage would you start taking? Oh, I don't know. It depends what it pumps. So let's just say if you're looking at BTC dominance itself, let's just say, for example, if we started to turn around at some point, I do believe we could go to like 54, 53%. I don't think 60 is on the cards personally. But if we do just go melt and we go down to sub 30, wow, that could be interesting. That could be very tasty. But yeah, it depends on a lot of things. Like, yes, there's always things to take profit into. Certainly, if you look at the BTC pairs, you may well make a 2, 3, 4x on your BTC, which would be quite nice. But I think we're a long way off that, even if we do a bit of a pump. We've got to think halving narrative as well. Can't sell too early. That was me in the previous cycle. I sold far too early. Not on all things, but some coins I sold too early because I made good money. I was like, oh, I should have held on a little bit longer. But it is one of those things, I suppose. Do you plan on selling a small percentage of your alts when, if BTC reaches? It would depend on the dominance, really. If BTC dominance was low, I would be selling into BTC and then hodling. It depends on the BTC price as well. So let's just say BTC price is not above all-time high. I probably would hodl it for a bit longer, but it depends on the trend. The trend may change. And if it does change, well, I'll be looking to sell some of it into USD and then to rebuy back low. I always look to rebuy back low anyways, but if I sell into BTC and it keeps on going up, cool. But there'll be a point where I go, I've got a big bag of BTC, I can sell that into USD because I think it's overvalued. I think it's the music's gonna stop, as always. Then I can sell partial and then rebuy back low. So I'll still be exposed to Bitcoin, but I'll probably sell a little bit of it to rebuy back low. Living in Cardiff, food prices are so wild. Yeah, food isn't great right now. I've certainly noticed my food bills go up quite a lot recently. I never used to. I just kind of was very blasé about it. Then everyone was talking about it. And then I'm going to look, I'm going to check, I'm going to go back and look and see what my old stuff was. Like, ooh, hello, like milk's expensive. It is for me because I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm going to buy the expensive stuff anyways. It's rather irritating. But yeah, it's one of those. I saw when there's more and more adverts for crypto. Yeah, one of the big exit warning signs is Coinbase. Coinbase top of the app stores. It's a very, very simple thing to look at. It's one of those things. I got asked this question today on my Patreon, on my MMQs. I was like, well, how do you know when to take profit? How do you know, like, sort of, is it just experience? And it kind of is, really. It's like when you start seeing the certain type of video, the certain type of metrics on, say, Google Trends, or, as I say, the app stores, like certain things ranking high. It's like, okay, and then you got to look at your portfolio thinking, right, I bought then, I've made however many thousands or whatever, and you think, I should really look at taking some money off the table, because eventually the money stops and, as I say, the music stops, and then it just goes, not ideal. You don't want to get caught. And I've always said this, and I'm an advocate of it, leaving money on the table is the worst. And there's people out there on Twitter and YouTube who go, taking profit, nah. Taking profit culture, nah. It's not, you're not a part of crypto if you're taking profit. We're all here to invest and make money and build wealth, right? Whether the technology is good, whether the technology is bad, whether we're flipping meme coins, shit coins, whatever it may be, you've got to get rewarded for your efforts of research, learning, understanding, all that kind of stuff, and actually having the patience to buy. If you're going, it's fine, whatever, It's mad, and people are too blasé about it, and this is why people lose. You got to be ruthless, man. And I'm all for making money in an open market, but it is a right way and a wrong way of doing it. And the worst way of doing it is hoping it's going to go higher. How safe is it to move profits into USDT? Probably the safest thing we've got right now, which sounds scary to say, considering all the turmoil with Tether in the past. But with what's happened with USDC, with what's happened to BUSD, which I still believe is, yeah, it's kicking about, but it's not really utilized much, is it, nowadays? So yeah, it's not too bad. Do you have any opinion on Ripple case? I hope they win. Personally, I hope they win. It'd be a great victory for the crypto space. I think it's an unjust lawsuit. Personally, it's because it's linked to Ripple Labs. The XRP token itself is away from that, essentially. It's a good protocol. It works. It's efficient. It's cheap. It's, yeah, it does genuinely work. But cryptocurrency needs it to win. For everyone should be behind Ripple to win. Simple as that, because that will show that, yeah, the SEC can't just waltz in and just do whatever they want. They've done it far too many times on a lot of projects recently. I think they've done 12 or 13 projects now where they've like sued. And I think 3 exchanges. I think Kraken's one. There was another one, and I can't remember the other one from years ago. Bitrex another one. So yeah, can't have them winning everything. It sucks, man. Feels like they're just filling their pockets with fines. Sucks. But yeah, it is what it is. Just got to be somewhat careful. But for me, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to win. We'll see. Yeah, it's been released. It's 5%. Release at 1:30 UK time, 12:30 US, and whatever time in Europe, because I don't know. Should have a world clock in here somewhere. That is, for me, that is outstandingly good. Like, I did think it was going to struggle, but no, it's done all right. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to shoot because I've got stuff to do. I've got to go and pick up my car from a service. The joys. And it's also piss wet through, raining outside. I'm going to walk for a bit, which is going to suck. Might take the dog with me. But yeah, thank you for turning up. As I say, check out the pinned post. I am going to be doing live streams as of next week on Twitch. Same sort of format. Same kind of fun stuff, but just in a much better environment for live streaming, because Twitch is a live streaming platform. This is more of a long form content platform. So yeah, makes more sense. But yeah, appreciate you turning up. We'll see what the market's doing in like, what, an hour? Or well, less than an hour actually now. 35 minutes, see what the opening is like in the US off the back of this result. I imagine Bloomberg is pretty mental today.